All right. Sorry I'm late. Good morning. We're having we started having this yesterday, this time of day. It's really, really gotten windy, and there's still all this snow and ice on the ground and whatever. And the internet, the power, we keep having power flashes and internet flashes. It's something that the companies are aware of and trying to work through. We didn't have anything last night. But we just had one like 2 minutes before I went online. So luckily the modem rebooted in time. So if I disappear, that's why. We got like 30-mile-an-hour winds outside. So it is what it is when you live out here in the middle of the forest. Hey JC, how you doing, bud? Yeah, exactly, Marlboro, man. That was the game we needed out of Bennett. Hey Jason. Yeah, now we can re-sign Bennett. Now I'm good, right? We would never even talk or think about trading that guy, right? Hey, Kenneth Jameson, how you guys doing? All right, we'll try this again. I got my other laptop here in case, but I don't think that's the problem because everything just keeps, like I said, we keep getting the power flashes. That's why, for you members, that's why the podcast didn't get released yesterday, or until late anyway. So hopefully that's the last one. It happened right before the show, and it just happened again. So hopefully, I don't know, nothing I can do. Yeah, it's super windy, Ken. Yeah, that's what we've got. We've got like 30-mile-an-hour winds, like 40-mile-an-hour gusts, and you know, I called the power company, I called the internet company, and they're like, it's windy and there's nothing we could do. So, But it's weird because it's been affecting the TV and this laptop, but not my laptop and the computers downstairs. So I don't know if it's like the signal is just getting really weak and dropping off and certain things can't handle it or not. I don't know. Yesterday afternoon, we had no power. It was just a mess. Kenny, if you need Google for miles per hour translation, is fast. 30 miles an hour is pretty bad. And then you get those gusts up to 40. Let's just hope, cross our fingers that it's going to stay. Let me catch up a little bit here. Hey, Chopper. Hi, Electrical. Let's hope Chucky and Bennett are ramping up. Yep. Yeah, it was a beautiful thing to see. It was a beautiful thing to see last night. That was the real Sam Bennett. That was the real Sam Bennett, right? Now, quick, sign him so he'll stay happy. Marlboro Man says first and second lines are solidified, in my opinion. Now just have to figure out the bottom six rotation. I like Boquist with the Finns and Roddy on the fourth. I agree with you, Marlboro. I agree with you. But if that's the way it's going to work, don't be surprised. I'm not saying I want us to move on from Rodriguez, but if we flipped him for, a defenseman, no, it wouldn't shock me is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because either we're going to have to send salary the other way or assets to get them to eat salary. Taylor says Bennett was 8 shots on goal. What a mission, right? Yeah, it was beautiful. Vincent says, I want Sam Bennett to adopt you. Yeah, he had a hell of a game. And did you see, I talk about this in the podcast that's coming out, but they asked Sam Bennett about Sam Miskevich after the game. And the main thing he said was that he loves playing with him because of his energy and his speed. And the chemistry is only going to get better the longer they play together. So I think Maurice is just going to leave him there. Wouldn't that be something? There's nobody from Winnipeg would ever believe that Paul Maurice would leave a rookie on the second line while they're trying to win a cup. Chopper says, we're now 100% certain that there's a bug in the house, in the room somewhere, maybe behind the fluffy painting, right? I mean, come on. How often do I complain about Barkov? Like never, right? And as soon as he missed that shot or hit the post, whatever it was in the second period on the stream, I said, that's it. We got to bag skate him. And then I, said it in the recap. And then he goes out there and he was like embarrassed that was the goal that went in. That was funny to watch. He's just like that. That's the one that goes in, really. So now we just got to get Chucky scoring because Sam Miskevich is gonna set up Chucky. That's for sure. So Vincent says, yeah, Sam Bennett adopted Mackie Sam Miskevich. Who's going to be next, right? I agree. Chopper says, how come Chucky can't score in the front of a wide open net, but he can score an empty net for falling down far away? Hey, Dave, how you doing, bud? At least they got one in, right, Chopper? Once all that, to Bennett's point about the chemistry building the longer they play together, if Maurice could just leave that top six alone now, just leave it alone. We know Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, beautiful, right? And I mean, Bennett, Kachuk, Samoskevich is good enough. If Samuel starts putting the puck in the back of the net every once in a while, that line is going to be lethal, absolutely lethal, because now you got two guys with great speed on that line with Bennett and Samoskevich, and that can free up Kachuk a little bit to just cause a mess in front of the net. Jason says, Chucky admitted he blew that shot, and I love the accountability. He had a huge shout out to Samo. Yeah. Yep. It's a good, and the best part about it is it's not just Samoskevich. The best part about it is that Zito's drafting. Right now, we're starting to see a little bit of the type of player he's going to bring in, and I don't think we're going back to the dark days, people. I don't think we're going back to the dark days. I think especially with Spencer Knight, I think for the foreseeable future, the biggest question we're going to have most years is, can we win the cup? I kind of really feel that way. Chopper says Barkov adopted Lundell. Bennett adopted Samoskevich. Now we need someone for Chucky to adopt. Maybe Sachin. Yeah. And is this my laptop again, Vincent? Damn it. No, it's not my laptop. I'm going to switch laptops, but it's the internet. Just hold on. This shouldn't be happening. Yeah, I'm froze up. Hold on. Bear with me. Give me. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm gonna switch to the other laptop and see if that helps anything. Just hold on. All right. We'll see what happens here. It could be a weakness in that other laptop, but we'll see how it works out here, because my package got delivered. My package got delivered. It did. Hey, Kyle. Hold on, JC. Hold on. Let me yell to Kyle. Was it post office or FedEx? All right, hold on, JC. Hold on. Kyle. JC is saying a package got delivered. He wants me to open up on the stream. We'll get the package, and then if it looks like I need a knife or scissors, bring me something to open with. I don't know. I think it was FedEx. It was probably in the van, but it's probably not in the box anyway. All right, he's going to get it. Yep, he's going to get it. Okay. What's funny, Metal, is it is all Kyle's fault, because what happened to the other laptop over the summer, a couple days, it's funny. We had all these years with the dogs and all the cords on the floor, and they never tripped over anything. And about a week after Fluffy died, Kyle tripped over my laptop charger cord, and it ripped the Ethernet port out of the laptop on the other one. And so I bought a USB. You put the USB in, it connects to the Ethernet. But I've noticed that if the signal drops out, this laptop handles it just fine when I'm Etherneted in. But that one, because it's just a dongle, I guess. So I'm gonna have to get that whole damn board replaced, because when he tripped, it just took the laptop that way. The laptop fell. Laptop was fine, but it ripped the Ethernet port right out of it. So he's going to get the package. But so far, so good. So if I have to. All right, what did Chopper say? Says, I heard that the Kings are looking forward to maybe shopping Grant Clark, the young D-man who made it hard for us to score during the home Kings game. He's a 21-year-old, makes less than under. They're going to shop him? Why would they shop a young guy like that? Interesting. All right, Kyle, he's got it, Jason.
Here, I want to at least be in the room to see.
Okay.
Open this.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna. Okay. All right. Let's see. This from JC. This from JC. This I can't wait to see.
Yeah, don't dox him by accident now.
Huh? What? No. It's just the FedEx thing. All right.
There's a message written on one of the sides of the box.
Okay.
Right here.
Let's see.
On this side, this flat side.
So it's a lot better, Great White, you're saying on this one? Okay. You know what? I'm looking at it. You're right. It does look better. I think that laptop that when you empty beer cans. I think that laptop, the one that when you tripped over. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not. It's functioning for certain things, but I don't think I can stream from that laptop anymore. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments or get a third laptop. So I'm going to have to bring it to the guy in town because that port, the dongle, like this, I'm having no problems with. We had no problems at all streaming with this one. But every day I'm having problems with that one. So, they're brand new laptops. They're like $1,200. The other one's got a low frame rate. All right, let's go. Okay.
Let's see what's in there.
Oh, here, Kyle, read that because I can't. I don't have to put on my glasses.
This is a thanks for the purchase card. It all arrives.
Oh, is it not? Oh, he's probably because he sells these.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, good. I got bubble wrap and peanuts. I definitely need it. Oh shit.
What is this?
I don't know.
Oh shit! It's a Jaws action figure set.
Oh shit! Oh my god, dude!
Yeah,
dude.
It's Toonie Terrors Quint versus the Shark.
I want to get it so that because the camera. There we go. Here we go. Look at this. It's Quint versus the Shark.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
That's awesome.
JC, man, that is awesome. Now I gotta get something to display all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh man, gotta get it into the recap room. Yeah. Absolutely. JC, man, that's awesome, dude. That's Josh screaming at Bennett. We won a game. Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. Oh my God, that is great. Metal says, open it or keep it in the box. What do you think, JC? JC is the professional with these. You think just display it in the box or open it and display it? I'll leave that open for JC. That is sweet, man.
Well, it's showing you all the different things on the sides. It shows you the different things because it has accessories as well.
JC, I think I'll leave it in the box until I have an appropriate way to display it. I got to get a case. Yeah, of course, Great White would like it, right? Amanda says in the box. Probably in the box, right? But I got to showcase it. Man, JC, that's awesome, bro.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. Thank you, my friend. All right. Yeah, Kyle, take that down, put it in the recap room where I'll see it so that I can remember to place it properly.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's okay. So you got the shark.
Careful with
you got the shark fin.
Right.
You got his
Let me put my glasses back on. Let me see.
You got the shark fin.
Yeah, it's hard in the light.
Okay,
it's got the fin. So you can take the shark out. You can take Jaws out, put the and put everything in his hand. So yeah, I got to display that properly, right? But I'm gonna wait till I've got a place to display it. I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to the recap room because that's just too awesome.
Yeah,
that's sweet. All right, man, put that back down there. Great.
It's got his hatchet
Yeah.
and the harpoon.
Awesome. Hey, thank you, Great. Thank you, JC, and thank you, Great White. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, bud. JC says the other day someone asked you what character you'd be, and now every time you rant, you'll see that character. I appreciate that, brother. That is awesome. Yeah, right, Dave? Yeah, JC tracked the package right to the door, and it comes during the stream. That's beautiful. Chopper says visual representation of Jaws getting angry at Maurice for not putting Sam Miskevich in the first line. I'll tell you what, Maurice had it right. I wanted to see Sam Miskevich with Barkov and Reinhardt because I figured he could set them up, but putting him with Bennett Kachuk is a better idea because, I mean, Sam Miskevich already has an edge to him, right? You already see he has no problem digging for pucks, getting physical and all of that. Imagine being that kid, man, and now you get to be tutored by Bennett and Kachuk on, you know what I mean? I mean, that's just got to be an absolute blast of a dream come true for that kid. So thank you again, JC. That was sweet. That is sweet. It probably won't happen until summer because during summer we can go to the auction every Thursday, right? Yeah, thank you, JC. And in summer we can go to the auction every Thursday, and they always have like showcases and lighted cabinets and everything like that. So that was the plan this summer, right? That's what I was going to do, was remake everything, and then by the time season came up, I just didn't have the mental energy over the summer to do it. But this year we should be good to go. So because there's so much stuff that I need to display that you guys have sent me, but I just don't have a proper way to display some of it. And Billy's over here, my trophy's over there, the little Luongo on top, my card in the glass case, all sorts of stuff that nobody can even see. So we got to work on that. JC says, I'm just buttering you up until I pry that Worrell stick from you. If it wasn't a gift to me already, JC, right? If it wasn't a gift to me, yeah, little Bobby Lou, yeah, he's just right here on top of the trophy. Is that on camera? Yeah, you can see him. You can barely see him right on top of the upper deck trophy. So yeah, look at this. It's got to be the laptop, right? It's got to be the laptop. That's unfortunate. I mean, we have been having the power flashes, and the modem yesterday all day was kicking off and on. I got an electrical short somewhere in my bedroom, so we had to rewire a ground temporarily outside from outlet to outlet so that I had power in my whole bedroom. But it's got to be this laptop because, look, we're not having any of those problems. So I'll just take that over to the repair shop and see if he can figure out what's going on. If it's that, if it's the dongle, or if he can fix it, or if I need to get a third laptop and that one can just be a writing, because I'm writing another book this summer. I'm writing a second book this summer. So that's what we're doing. All right. Meadow says, weird stat. Edmonton is about the same spot now as we were last year at this time, coming off the cup loss. Interesting. Which, by the way, I know somebody had mentioned it earlier. We're in first place for now. Stop the count. Stop the count, please. Right? Stop the count. Because let's see, where are we? If I am correct, yeah. So right now, if the Panthers if season ended today, would it be the Jackets? Well, Lightning, Jackets, that's tough to say. But right now, let the Leafs play the Senators, and we'll play the Bruins. I'm good with that. Toronto. You guys go play Brady Tkachuk and Allmark. We'll take on the Bruins. We got that. We got that part. So JC says, I say everyone submits videos, pictures of the Panther memorabilia. I'll hold a contest. We can do it as brackets. Stream chooses weekly winners to advance. Winner gets a signed jersey. Damn, JC, that's awfully generous of you. JC, let's talk about that, because I guess the way that we would have to do that would either be through a video where people are voting in the comments, or community posts where we do a poll. I think that might work better. So let's talk on the side about that, because I like that idea. That would be sweet. Of course, you would win. You could win your own jersey. Maybe that's why JC's having the contest, because he knows he'll just win, and he'll be like, well, I guess I got to buy myself another jersey now so I can have my prize. Hey, Jaws. Hi, Simon. Says, how do I think about some of the players on the Panthers being in the Four Nations Cup? I looked at it today. I think it's only like 4 games they're going to have to play at most. It's such a short tournament. Just stay healthy. That's all I'm asking for. Just stay healthy. I'm going to assume that it's not going to be overly physical, right? You would hope it's not going to be overly physical. So I think the United States kind of has the edge there, but just as long as everybody stays healthy. Chopper says the only Panthers memorabilia I have is a 5-minute sketch of the Panthers logo, right? Jay says you're not allowed to participate. Yeah, family not allowed, right? So Simon, I think I like the way the team played last night. In answer to your question about the next couple of games, I'm going to think. I assume we're going to sweep the weekend. I think we should sweep the weekend. When you look at it, look at how we looked against the Kings last night on 2 days rest. Now we got another 2 days. Got the Blackhawks and Islanders. You got Bob, you got Knight, whichever way you're going to work them. I kind of expect to sweep the weekend. And then we've got a lot of hockey to play next week too, though. Right? We've got our fair share of hockey to play next week. So we play Saturday the Blackhawks, Sunday against the Islanders, Tuesday Capitals, Thursday the Blues, and then Saturday the Senators. And then we got the break. So give me 4 points this weekend, and then 1, 2, 3, give me at least 4 of the final 6 points. Capitals and Senators. In fact, the Capitals are on the road. Yes, we go back out on the road, and then we come back home. So the Capitals are on the road, Blues are on the road, and then we come back home right before the break against Ottawa. That's going to be a crazy game. That last game before the break where we play Ottawa, that's going to tell us something, because nobody, I know we got the Four Nations coming up, but you're not saving anything in the tank. You know what I mean? You're not holding back in that game, because then the break comes. So that game against Ottawa is likely to be nasty. It's very, very, very likely to be a nasty game, because they're already nasty with Florida and Ottawa. But when they don't have to play again for, as a team for a couple of weeks, that could be something. JC says, I'll be at this game on Saturday. First 2 people I see wearing Flying Fluffy merch get a signed card. Look at that. JC's out here being my manager. I'm going to have to send you I'm going to have to put you on the payroll. It's not, it's cheap pay. It's really bad, poor pay, JC. It really is. We pay Kyle in food, which is a good deal for me, because I would have to feed him anyway, right? So it works out. No, Simon, he is being honest, once we get it together, once we know what the contest is going to be, everybody will get instructions. We'll do it right. Taylor says, I'm worried about Bennett in the Four Nations the most in the tournament. No need to play as physically as he does. I don't think he will. I don't think anybody will, honestly. I don't think it's going to quite be like all-star level, but I don't think it's going to be all that intense, right? And you've got all those skilled players on the ice, especially, Canada's got the high end. United States is just loaded. I would suspect it's going to be Canada and the U.S. in the final, but anything can happen, right? So I don't think it'll be as lackadaisical as an all-star game and all of that, but it's a good change. It's a good change, right? Because let's be honest, the skills competition has gotten a little, some of it's okay. Like I like the year they did in Florida. They had some unique things there, right? But the All-Star game itself is I kind of like this idea. It's just a shame that the Panthers have so many players going because you would like guys to get a rest. JC says the pay would be the chance to get to eat the crumbs from the bottom of the Scoodloo's bag. Well, the good news for you, JC, is I don't have any dogs. So, if the crumbs drop on the floor, there's no dogs to compete with. So you're good there, right? So get in while the pay is good, because once they get a dog, they're likely to take the Scoodloo's bag off of the actual counter, right? Jason, you think USA versus Finland? Boy, that would piss the Canadians off. That would piss the Canadians off for sure. Dietrich, yeah, man, the fights, just nobody get hurt. But that should be, honestly, a little bit of a preview of what a Panthers-Senators playoff series would be like. Let Toronto deal with Ottawa. I think that'd be good for Canada, in fact. Let Toronto and Ottawa do their thing. Right? A full-on Canada versus Canada series. Let the Panthers, we'll take care of Boston, Toronto, so that you don't have to worry about it, right? In fact, now I'm thinking about it, you Leaf fans might be interested in that. Let's make a deal. Leaf fans, let's make a deal. All right? We'll keep Florida, Toronto, Ottawa, Boston. Tampa, no, not really interested. Boston, right? Anything can happen, but the Panthers are undefeated against the Bruins in the playoffs, going all the way back to 96. Yeah, Finland is essentially Team Panthers, right? Yeah. Chopper says USA versus Finland. I'm kind of torn between rooting for the Tkachuk brothers or Barkov and the boys. That'd be it. Yeah. It's a good point. If it's USA versus Finland, that's a good point. Oh, that'd be tough. Just as long as Chucky don't go hitting Barkov, right? And that's the other thing. Like, you're going to have teammates on opposing teams. You're not going to go start hitting your guys. Like if Barkov, if USA and Finland play in the finals, and somebody hits Barkov, if somebody from the U.S. hits Barkov, does Tkachuk fight his own teammate for hitting Barkov? I think that dynamic alone, obviously they're not going to fight their own teammate, but I think that dynamic alone would probably cut down on the physicality a little bit, just thinking about it in that way. Like, who on Team USA with Tkachuk is going to go after hitting Barkov? Right? It's like, hey, bro, back off. What's my opinion on the trade deadline? Defenseman. Defenseman and Nola Chari. Give me that. Give me Nola Chari, and give me somebody that can be at the second pair or really, really solidify that third pair. I think I'll be happy. Scrolling down to the bottom. Kenneth says the Leafs are undefeated versus the Sens in the playoffs, but you'd like it to stay that way. Yeah, I think it's a good setup, Ken. Panthers will take care of Boston for you, right? I mean, I know people think that spot's going to be the Lightning rather than Boston. Now I'm really not interested in playing the Lightning. But if the choices are Ottawa and Tampa, it's going to be a physical 6-7 game series no matter what, right? There's no easy road in the Atlantic, that's for sure. Chopper says, I think they probably have a gentleman's agreement of not wanting to beat anyone so they can save themselves for the playoffs, right? Great White says, I don't see the Leafs going to the Cup before the Panthers. Here's iDog. Trade Mackey for Crosby. Mackey gets put in the second line, and then he's the only one that didn't score from that line last night. Oh, man. No, yeah, I get it. That second line, man, it's just going to be a blast. We got to re-sign Bennett now. Now that you see what that line could look like, you know, as Mackey gets bigger and get, better and stronger, that is just going to be a nasty, nasty second line to deal with. I love it. It's beautiful. How does it work? Well, Chopper, you're saying being eliminated. It's interesting because the schedule, they've got the games already scheduled out. So what's the system? Is it like if a team is already eliminated, do they still keep playing? Because I looked at the schedule and they already have the games laid out. So I'd have to look at it. Is it going to be clear cut in terms of like if you lost this game, you're eliminated, but you still play your next game in the tournament? I don't understand how they're going to pick the finals two teams because I guess there would be the possibility of a tie or something, right? They've already got, you know what I mean? They've already got the teams, the matchups are already preset on the schedule. So with that, it's like, how can you guarantee there won't be a tie for first or second? You follow what I'm saying? I watched a video on it this morning, but it showed me the schedule, right? Kyle was hoping to go to his mom's that weekend, but no. No, we got a few games. That weekend is packed. They got the late game, the Panther or the USA versus Canada, the first game Saturday night is like 9:00. Dietrich, yeah, I know. It would have been, well, if you had Russia, that'd be 5 teams. Who would be the sixth? Who would be the sixth nation if you had Russia? That's a question. I mean, I understand there's political reasons why they don't want to have Russia. I think politics and sports, I think it should not mix like that. But Kenneth, you say check? Yeah, probably. I mean, would there be? Would there be enough players? I mean, there probably would, but would it be competitive? I know Russia might win, right? You know, Russia might win. Antarcticans. Dietrich says, are there more Czechs than Finnish in the NHL? I don't know. Half the Panthers are Finns and Swedes. So do we have any Czechs? Is that maybe Mikkola? German. Maybe Caesar metal. No sick. Yeah. The Germans. No sick. So Simon, after the 4 nations, I think we'll keep coasting along. I think we might end up at, first or second place for sure, right? First or second place for sure. I'd like to see us, honestly, and this might be a bit of a stretch. I don't know how it's going to be possible, but let's say we're going to win the division. It would be nice to have, whether it be first or second place, wherever we're going to end up, it would be nice to have that wrapped up before the final 2 games of the season, because we end the season with 3 games in 4 nights. And you'd like to see some guys be able to get some rest in that, finishing the season on a home and away back-to-back. So whether it's going to be first place or second place, it'd be nice to have that in the bag before those last 2 games, because that's a crappy way to end the season on a back-to-back like that. Hey, John, thank you, buddy. Thank you, John. Much appreciated. Pavel Bure speed. Ooh, that's – ooh. Says Sam Miskevich has Bure speed. He's quick. He's quick. I know some people were worried about that he would be less noticeable when you move him up to the top 6 as opposed to when he was on the 4th line. It's just not been the case. He just creates chaos with that speed, man. And that's what Bennett said in his interview last night. So Kenneth says the checks would be stacked. Pasta, Gudis, Nietzsche's. That's right. Hey, Mr. Vids. Vincent says, but again, European teams are at a disadvantage. Only players from the NHL are allowed to play. It's not right. That's a good point, Vincent. That's a good point. If it's only teams from the NHL, that's a really good point. Yeah. They should have had Yager sign a 1-day contract with somebody so he could have been in the thing at 50 years old. But no, his country's not playing, so that wouldn't have mattered anyway, right? Yeah, that's right. It's only players from the NHL. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah. And so you've got, the KHL and all of that over there, and that would kind of put a damper on it, right? Jason says, who am I looking forward to seeing called up next year out of the young guys that are currently on the team right now? You personally can't wait to see St. Martin. It's interesting, Jason. I talk a little bit about that on the members podcast coming out today. When I look at what we've been talking about with the top 6 and hoping that, you sign Bennett, extend Sam Miskevich, and that's set. Obviously, Lundell is set. I have a feeling, we're going to have at least one spot open on the 4th line. You never know what we're going to do with E2 or Rodriguez, and it wouldn't surprise me to see Sordev come up and take one of those spots. He was pretty much close to ready. He kind of basically would have made the team this year, right? So, but I know Sasha, and I know, like you're saying, some people looking for St. Martin. I'm looking at it like, where's the spots, right? But it's a good problem to have. Now, Giles is another one. Is he ready to just be 4C? Is he ready to be a rotation player, right? It gets complicated because what's happening with Sam Miskevich, generally speaking, isn't going to happen on a cup contender, right? You're generally not going to see a guy just come in, play out the season on the 4th line and get moved to the 2nd line in his rookie season with guys at the level of Bennett and Tkachuk. And usually there'll be some sort of defensive, deficiency or some hole there, but it's just not happening. The kid is just up and down. And he's the perfect Maurice player. He really is. He's just up and down the ice, man. It's like freaking Energizer Bunny out there. So yeah, St. Martin. Well, where would you place him, Jason? Right? Where would you put some of these guys? Like, we probably got a few guys that could play, that would at least be able to develop. But where are we going to put them? unless you start talking about maybe moving a Lusterinen or a Rodriguez to make room for some kids and clear up some cap space. Yeah, Yager can be a one-man team, though, right? Mr. Viz says it's crazy how after all the games we were struggling, we're still leading the division. I guess everyone else having trouble as well. The Atlantic is eating itself. It really is. I mean, it's such a tough division. You look at the disparity in the difference. In the Atlantic, there's really only one bad team, and that's the Sabres. But you go over to the Metro, I mean, I'm not saying that the Penguins, Islanders, Flyers are bad, but I think all of the teams other than the Sabres in the Atlantic would be considered better. Forget about the points, just on the ice, right? Like the Canadians are dropped all the way to 7th place, but it's only by 2 points. It's just crazy, the disparity in talent. Hey, thank you, John. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, John. Merritt Island gets Tampa games? Really? That sucks. That doesn't make any sense. Man. But I know I talked about with football that they played Jacksonville stuff there. Meadow says, Sawshin, Samo, St. Martin, just give them the cup in 2028. What's that, 3 years from now? Who knows? Who knows how that's going to all shake out, right? But if they re-sign Bennett, Dietrich says, should Swaggy move? No, they put him with Barkov and Reinhardt last night. I think that's the best way to leave it for now. I think he'll get enough opportunities with that line to get himself back on track scoring, and we need that element up there for sure. Jason says St. Martin, 4th line left wing for sure. We'll have 1 to 2 bottom 6 spots forward. I like to see us just bring up those guys, sign another no-sick for abysmal play. I mean, if you're going to have abysmal play, Giles, I don't want to call him abysmal, but it's when you're when you're trying to win a cup every year, it changes how many guys you can bring up at once, right? Great White says, did you know Giles from Chase, Maryland? No, I did not know that. Yeah, Merritt Island is closer to Tampa, like this is 2 hours west, right? Yeah, I get it. They try to force those markets. You know what I mean? They try to force it. Sunrise is 3 hours south and right. That's such a shame. My dad just watches it on his phone. But you can get the Panthers Plus in that area, right, John? You can get the Panthers Plus or Scripps, right? Meadow says, who do I think will be the next captain? A current player, or do you think the next captain isn't on the team yet? You have center ice, John? Okay. Gotcha. Is that with DirecTV? Did DirecTV add Scripps to center ice? Because at the start of the season, they hadn't done that. It's a good question about the next captain. I mean, Barkov is so young that, I mean, what is he, 29? Right? So you got to figure if he plays till 35, that's another 6 years. Hell, even by then, even Samoskevich almost be 30. Forsling is it? I don't know. That's a really good question. Maybe he's in the AHL somewhere. You would think, because even if you drafted a kid at 18 right now, if Barkov plays with us till he's 35, 36, that's another 6 years or whatever it would be. Kid gets drafted at 18. He's not going to be the captain at 24, I don't think. Right? It's a good question. I can't imagine that he's on the roster at this point. Youngest players are Lundell and Sam Miskevich. I mean, and you never know how it'll be, right? You never know if we'll have like a interim, not an interim captain, but a guy that's not. Craig says the next captain probably isn't even in college. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, there's a lot of guys on the team that would make a good captain for sure, but yeah, he's probably not even in our system yet at this point because Barkov's here for forever. Yeah, you say the next captain hasn't even been drafted yet. Yeah, exactly. All right, Dave. Thanks, bud. Kenneth says, weirdest NFL stat I heard. First, second, third, fourth, and seventh in receiving yards this year. All born in Louisiana, less than 100 miles apart. Damn, that's like Kenneth, that's like back in the day when all the good quarterbacks came out of Miami and Florida. State of Florida, right? Great. Well, he says you get Panthers on scripts in Clearwater. Go from. I guess I'll have to call DirecTV up and see what the deal is, because when I talked to them at the beginning of the season, they didn't have it. So, because I would love to not have to stream the games, although the DirecTV is like $150, $200 a month versus $13 a month for ESPN Plus. So I guess you get what you pay for. Meadow says, another bit of food for thought. Which current Panther do I think would be most likely to be the Panthers head coach in the future? Reinhardt. By far. Yeah, absolutely. Meadow says Reinhardt or Forsling. Yeah, Reinhardt. I mean, Paul Maurice has said Reinhardt's the smartest player he's ever seen. And Paul Maurice has been around for a couple of minutes, Yeah, Mr. Vid says also for the Super Bowl, I'm rooting for the meteorite. Yeah, I was kind of just thinking earthquake. But nobody gets hurt, right? Nobody gets hurt. It's in Louisiana. So those people don't need any more crap. But the meteorite kills everybody. How do we have, how about this? I'm thinking how we can cancel the Super Bowl, but nobody really gets hurt. How about an attack on the power grid? Huh? Although people could freeze to death. There's no good answers, Mr. Vids. Go Eagles. Go Eagles. Dietrich says Ekblad. Interesting. I hadn't thought about that. I don't know. Ekblad, are you head coach material if you block somebody on Twitter because they said that you need to get back into the gym and stop paying so much attention to your hair and beard? Are you head coach material if you're that soft that you have to block the dude that makes videos for the team because you agreed with him that he needed to get back into the gym and maybe added the hair and the beard part? It was a compliment. iDog says, I thought we were going to give all the guys under contract immortality drugs so they can play forever. Barkov captain for life. Right? Won't that be a weird time as these guys start to get old and fall off and leave? That's going to be a weird time, especially if we win another cup or three. Hey, true, the NFL is rigged. Well, what did Bill Burr say? It's not rigged, it's massaged. Well, I get it. Ekblad would just run the power play. You misspelled ruin, Metal. You misspelled ruin. There's an I in there. Kenneth says, tell them Katrina is coming back and the game can't get rescheduled. Mizovic said, next time I come down, we need to get a sign saying Ekblad to unblock me. Yeah, I know. So, Dietrich, I was blocked on the original Jawsaholic, my Twitter account. I was blocked there. And then I let it, he blocked me for that reason, for the reason I told you. He initially blocked me. Then I took a break from Twitter around COVID and all of that. And that account, I let it go. When I came back to Twitter, the Jawsaholic handle was still available. So I took it back. And then the second time he blocked me was because in a separate story with the first account, after the second period of a game, I went on Twitter and I bitched about Ekblad, do something, need to score, whatever it is that I said. During the second intermission in the locker room, he liked the tweet. And then he went out in the third period, scored 2 goals, and we won the game. That's true. That should happen. So I retweeted that, and he liked that retweet. Then the episode happened with the retweeting of the article over summer, and he blocked me. Then I let the Jawsaholic account go. Then I got the new one. Then with the new Jawsaholic account, I tagged him in a tweet because we were having a rough game. And I said, hey, remember that time a couple of years ago I talked shit about you? You liked the tweet and then you scored 2 goals? Let's do that again. And he blocked me just for that. Just for that, he blocked me. And I was like, bro, what are you? How? So the point being is if he's that soft to block me over that, how is he head coach material? I don't see it. You got to have a thick ass skin to be a coach. So yeah, he blocked me twice. It was a different, it was the same name, 2 different accounts. And he did not score 2 goals the second time he did it. No, I thought it was a good thing, right? I talked shit about him. He liked the tweet. He went and he scored 2 goals and we won the game. What's wrong? This is a good thing. Let's do this again. And then he blocked me. He blocked me for that. Just instantly. Didn't like it, did nothing. Just blocked me. Kenneth says Ekblad loves reading the comments. Yeah. Now, in Ekblad's defense, this was when I was doing the reviews with Stu, and we might have called him Eggplant a couple of times. But that was an honest mistake because whenever Stu and I we'd text during the game, whenever I would say, or he would say Ekblad, talk to text would say Eggplant. So we started calling him Eggplant. Again, if that bothers you, you're probably not coaching material, right? It's funny. So anyway, that's the deal between me and Ekblad. But of course, the dude that brings a parking cone to the stadium in front of God and everybody, Ekblad will forgive him. That dude's cool. They shook hands. Everything's all cool, right? So, go figure, right? Mr. Vid says, Eggplant, it happens all the time. It does. It is what it is, man. So I get a kick out of it. Unfortunately, I don't want to let my Twitter account go and get a third Jawsaholic account and try to see if he'll block me a third time. I don't want to do that. But yeah, I forget which game it was. Vincent says, now you see AI was ruining relationships for years, right? Great White says, I know Maurice is watching Jaws hockey. He said the same thing about Knight getting more plays as I did 2 days ago. Nice. That's good. Knight should be an even split the rest of the way, right? iDog says Eggplant took that the wrong way. Clearly calling him Eggplant meant he had a big one. Again, a compliment, right? It's like when I call Kyle Sasquatch. It's because he's this big, towering. You don't realize it till you get next to him. I mean, Kyle's 6'1", 215. You know what I mean? He's a big dude. True says, imagine that night in the locker room, all the guys looking at flying fluffy hockey neck. He goes, this effing guy keeps calling me Eggplant. And Parky says, just ban them. Jackie says, oh, yeah. There you go. Craig says, moral of the story is you need to be a pro golfer to critique Ekblad. Well, I did have dinner with a professional tennis player. Does that count? Does that count, Craig? Huh? I did have dinner with a professional tennis player. Hi, Mark. Hi, Magda. How you guys doing? I gotta text you, Mark, about that thing you told me about. I gotta join that site you told me about. I gotta get that moving. You'll hear from me soon. I'm slow at everything. Everything for me is 2 months. Oh, Colby, by the way, if you're watching, I'm gonna answer your email today. I promise. Doing this stuff with the power problem I've had in my bedroom really took its toll yesterday. It was like 3 hours. And what we ended up having to do, because we can't find where the short in the ground is, we had to open up 2 outlets and run a new ground wire outside the outlets from one outlet that was good to the outlet that was bad, and it regrounded the whole room. But now we don't know where the bad ground is. It could be anywhere, upstairs, downstairs. So that's going to be a hell of a project. Greg says close, right? Yeah, that should have got me unbanned. I should have tagged them. I can't tag them. I'm blocked. Somebody on Twitter who doesn't mind taking the chance that Ekblad's going to block you, go to my Twitter and find the post where I put the picture with us and Magda and everybody there, and retweet it and tag Ekblad and say, hey, since you accepted the apology of the professional golfer, will you unblock Jaws now that he's hanging out with professional tennis players? And anybody willing to take the chance, and let me know if you do it. Wouldn't that be sweet if he does it and he blocks you too? I mean, that would just add layers of cherries onto the story. Beck says it was good to see the team play their style last night. Absolutely, man. It was so we needed. I was just been begging, just give me one game where they look right, you know. And everything came in. You got Maurice 1900 game. You got Kulikov with his 1000th game. No, true. We did that. We did all that in terms of with the tester from the panel and all of that. We did that. My bedroom is in an addition. So there's the regular house, and then they added on the bedroom and the room downstairs underneath it. And the guy that did it, the construction is solid, but the guy that did it was teaching his son how to do electrical work. And when we got in there, you don't even have the same wires matching on, like there'll be a light switch there and a light switch there in the same room. And it's just all foobar. So we think it's most likely in a junction box, probably the drop ceiling that's in the room that we stream in downstairs is probably a junction box, because they put it on two breakers, but instead of making one breaker downstairs, one breaker upstairs, one breaker does half of upstairs and half of downstairs, and the other breaker does half of upstairs and half of downstairs. So it's just foobar. So we regrounded it for now. It's a temporary solution, because finding it, we all the outlets, we took them all apart, we tested everything, and we found a couple things, but it didn't fix the problem. So it could be a short. We get mice. You get mice in the walls in these old houses. So a mouse could have just nibbled on a ground wire anywhere. So it's going to be a project. Colin says Chicken Chuck is the alternative captain for Team USA. Nice. Kenneth says, but start the tweet with "Hey Eggplant." Oh my God, that would be awesome. Beck says, I know we keep talking trades and whatnot, but what do you think the odds are the Panthers actually getting someone? I feel like they might just skip the entire window. we absolutely need a guy at the very least, very minimum. We've got to go get an Okposo or Lorenz, Nolachari. That's the guy I want. We need one more center. We need a center on the bench if somebody should get hurt. Because right now it's Giles. It's Giles, and he's not on the roster, and he's not ready. Now, yeah, you can move Luster-Ryan and you can move Boquist around, but you're talking about playoffs. We need one more guy that can just be on the bench like we had last year. Somebody gets hurt, little dinged, bring him in, and we're not having to move the forward group all over the place. Past that, if we could pick up a defenseman or two for the bottom pair. I mean, Mikola Kulikov is working. Not a lot of offense, but I think they'll make some very small. They're going to do one of two things. They're either going to do some crazy shit like Carolina and Colorado did, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we could probably get Nolachari from Pittsburgh for free, basically. I would love to see that. He'd be the perfect depth piece to add to the roster for the run. And then at least one defenseman that kind of should be on the second pair, but we can put him on the bottom pair. I don't know if we're going to be able to replace Balinskis and Schmidt. I just don't know if we're going to have the assets to do that. But, yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. You think we might skip the entire window. I just don't want to give up any of our guys. You know, you look at the AHL, it's like, I don't want to give up these guys. I mean, maybe Sordiff is somebody that you're comfortable moving, but what are you going to get? You know? So we kind of tapped out resource-wise. Beck says, if we could only do one, would I opt for a center or a D? God, that's a tough question. If we could only do one, I would opt for a second pairing defenseman to go with Mikola, have Kulikov solidify the bottom pair, and then just choose whether you want it to be with Schmidt or Balinskis. It'd probably be Balinskis because Schmidt Kulikov would be a little bit too slow. Balinskis isn't perfect, but at least he's a decent skater. But yeah, if we could only do one, I would do that, because if we don't get another center, we could, you can move Boquist, you can move Luster-Ryan, right? It's less than optimal, but you could do it. But defensively, there's nothing. You got Adam Boquist, right? And Bornfoot. So that's not. It's not real. They don't scream playoff hockey. You know what I mean? Neither one of those guys scream playoff hockey. Doesn't mean they're bad players, but kind of like Mahura did the other year when he was with us, where, he played pretty well during the regular season, and then, it wasn't the same in the postseason, right? Simon wants to know, what's my prediction of the NHL playoffs in the second season? How I think they're going to do. I think I remain. I think at worst second round. I don't think we're a first round exit. Just on pride alone. Just on pride alone, of having made it to 2 cups straight. The fact that we've got 2 goaltenders should somebody falter. I can't see us losing in the first round. Could we run out of gas by the time we get to the second round against the team with a lot of confidence? It would suck, but we're not going to win the cup every year. I know for some of the new fans, it feels that way, but eventually we will lose a playoff round, right? Eventually it's going to happen. So I would say I would expect us to at least get to the second round. And then at that point, you're talking about, what's the health of the team? What's the energy level of the team? Is Bob on his Bob bullshit, right? and who are we going up against? Are you going up against Tampa finding themselves and Vasilevsky, doing Vasilevsky things? But I would be shocked if we didn't at least win one round just on pride alone. These guys aren't. Yeah, I have a hard time believing they're going to go out there and lose in the first round. I know they haven't looked all that great many times this year, but this team lost the cup and did all the work to get all the way back to the cup and won it in Game 7. That doesn't sound like a first round exit type of thing to me. Beck says Adam seems to be more of an offensive player. Yeah. He's got potential. Adam Boquist has got the potential. But just a little bit, he's got to harness all that energy he's got, which he still could do. He's young. Sometimes those young defensemen, right? They take a while to develop. But they must really like Balinskis over Boquist. Because they gave all the ice time to Balinskis. It's not even been like a rotation, So, all right, everybody. Appreciate all the support. I gotta get the eBay work done, get some grocery shopping done, catch up on some work. Next week, you're gonna start seeing. I got a sponsor coming on next week. It's gonna be excellent because it will be a way for you all to support the channel in a significant way, but it's free. It won't cost you any money. All right. So that's going to be a good thing. And it's actually something that some of you may significantly be interested in. So I'm happy with how that's pulling out. For those of you interested in the other stuff, I got a meeting next week with the Humane Society about the show that I'm doing for them as a benefit that will also help. They're also going to help me promote the doggy daycare. So all of that stuff is starting to come together. So whether it be during the playoffs or once summer starts, if I can get that thing up and running, then we're home free. If I can get that doggy daycare up and running, then I don't have to worry so much about the financial end of the channel. And then we can just relax and not, it'd be a lot more relaxing and have a lot more fun with it. So, all right. What's that, Simon? Hold on. Let me read this one more for Simon. Let me see. Let me blow it up. Oh, you're saying, predicts that the top 5 of the Panthers will win the cup again. I mean, that was my prediction, Simon. To start the season, I said we were going to win it again. I doubled down on that prediction in midseason, and I know how we've looked, but I'm going to believe we're going to win the cup again until somebody beats us. I don't think I have an option. You know what I mean? It's just like until somebody proves they can beat us in a 7-game series, I'm going to feel like we can win every series. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you again, JC. That was awesome, brother. It was perfect timing, too. Beautiful thing. All right. The members podcast will be up in about 15 minutes. Now we'll see you mañana.